I'm Jordan Kane with the Realty Trader Talk podcast, sponsored by realtytrader.com, where business meets mindset. Today, I have a really special guest. This podcast is about business owners who come from a helpful mindset and run their business trying to help the community. And today's guest, I see time and time again, helping the community. And he's running for mayor, Stephen Giordano. How's it going, my friend?
Good, buddy. How you doing, Jordan? Thank you for having me, man. That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to start out with a question because running for mayor, not everybody does. That's kind of
Why
a
not?
big... I don't know. You tell me.
I'm
you're
trying to
you're
be
in it.
inspiration, brother. I'm trying to be inspiration to, anybody who wants to do this. I'm nobody special. I'm just in the community. And if they can do it, I can do it, right? Or we can do it, or you can do it.
So what is one thing that, happened in your life or something if you can pick one that you felt, if I was mayor, I could help, I could do this, what would it be?
Well, I never grew up saying I wanted to get into politics because I'm not a politician. I don't consider myself one. I just consider myself a servant leader of the community that's just here to help. I grew up here. I went to school here. So for me, it was just growing up in the community, seeing the best for the community. I love helping people. So if I can do that on a mass level, that's what I want to do.
I see you doing it on a mass level, and I think you can just keep scaling in what you're doing. You have worked for the sheriff's department. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started in 2005, and I was there for about a decade at the I was a correctional officer at Rock Road. That was pretty interesting, starting at 23. You're in the prime years of your life, and you start working at a jail. And there was definitely a lot of learning curves there, but some great experiences that will last through the remainder of life, man. Just learning, from other officers and, even sometimes the inmates can teach you things that, you can look at things from a different perspective or a different angle. So I think it's, starting at 23, such a serious career working at a jail with, people who have committed crimes. They're not found guilty yet. It's in a county atmosphere, not a DOC. You've been sentenced, going to prison atmosphere. It's different. So DOC is definitely different than a county jail, but definitely, education's key, learning, and then, implementing all those changes that you can take from an FTO officer, a field training officer, and then bring them into your careers is good. Taking incentive classes and, it's just awesome, man. It was great. I had a great 10 years at the sheriff's office. After the sheriff's office, I went, did almost 7 years at the nuclear power plant. So that was high level security as well. That was fun.
Yes, that is high level, probably one of the highest level security in this area.
Yeah.
I have an experience at the, St. Lucie County. Rock Road is a little different than yours. But there is definitely some really nice COs and good COs and ones who want to see you do better, want to help, and they don't look down at you. But then there are some other COs that you come in and you're an instant drag of society. They treat you terribly. And so,
they're like referees.
They're like referees.
You know what I mean?
You get
when
some
you get
good
pulled
ones,
over by a cop,
right, yeah.
you're like, well,
Right.
what's going on?
Here you're getting, right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't know what
Bad
you're
call
getting.
or a good call, man.
Absolutely. Well, why I brought that up is that I saw a video of you. I think it was a previous inmate who was in the St. Lucie County jail, and he didn't have any shoes on. And, you out in the community.
Marvin Digsby. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Right. So, other COs would say, oh, look at that bum with no shoes on. I knew he was going to be out here with no shoes. And then, you stopped. And tell me a little bit about, that story.
So I actually own the building right there in Fort Pierce, and I was going to check on the building, do some cleanup on the property, and I seen him out there, and he's sitting down, and he's, looked like he was going through a hard day, and I was like, it caught me out on a whim because I caught a lot of criticism for that too as well because, if they say if you're going to do something, you don't need to showcase it. I was just at the time running for sheriff showcasing, hey, this is the type of leader that, I want to be as your next sheriff is I would give somebody my shoes that was in need. So I understand both sides and both perspectives. But for me, it's always been just helping the people. So mentality, right? If you go into something with a positive mentality and a positive mindset, you're going to hopefully do something positive and spread that throughout. If you go into it with a negative mindset or a negative mentality, then you're going to be around negative atmosphere. You're going to, not, we want to keep everybody uplifted and always help people if we can. So that's my,
100%. People are going to be people. You can't change what people say or do, but you from inside you. You know where it comes from. You know what, why you're doing the cause. Same, just in my business through real estate. If I go to help someone sell their home or buy their home, I know for a fact I'm doing it to help them. It's not for the dollar. It's not for the check.
Sure.
So if I
that
can,
always comes with it.
yes,
Doing good deeds, you know what I mean? It just comes with it.
absolutely.
You do good things, you hang around good people, it's just positive things are going to come. You hang around negative people, negative things are going to happen. So,
Well, who wouldn't want the mayor to be the person who stops and helps the person who needs shoes?
I appreciate that.
That's the type of person you want.
Right.
Rather, if someone says you did it for whatever reason you did it, I don't care if you did it to get on social media. You did it, and you'd do it 10 times over again. So if there's 10 people who need shoes, you would do it. And that's the goal. That's the purpose.
Yeah, I appreciate
that's where the purpose mindset comes from.
Yeah, that's good. No, I mean, again, it just boils back to having that mindset, man, having that positive mindset. No, we can change anything. We can change lives. We can help feed the homeless. Everybody gets down. There's always somebody that's going through something. Help your community, help your people, uplift human beings here. That's what we're here to do. Spread love, help people. Like, it's never ending. There's always something we can do every day to be better, have a positive mindset, help somebody else. It's not always, once you're good, spread it and help other people, and God's going to bless you with more abundance.
And bring you up.
And
that's why, through iMind, through the therapy that, I've gone through and learned, again, going through that experience I did in Rock Road and seeing, where mental health is with a lot of people. I mean, that the majority of the people in there have severe mental health.
Mental health is real.
Is very real.
Yeah.
And so, going through and now was asked to be on the board of the iMind Foundation, which, they're going out into the community. They're trying to help people. They have financial needs that can't go into therapy, and they have affiliates. So, I just did my first meeting with them, and we're coming up with plans. We're doing a pickleball tournament that I'm sure I'll be asking you to pop your face over.
Nice,
but, it's exactly, it saved my life. It brought me in. So I see the benefit from it. And, I want to tell the community and help others, if it can pull me out of where I was
I
from.
appreciate you for that, because you're a community leader, whether you know it or not, man. You got a team of people, Jordan. You're doing your thing. You turned your life completely around, and I commend you for that sincerely. And that's what we need to do, is we need to find the next person and help them and spread that positivity into them so they can see a positive outlook. Sometimes people just need a little bit of guidance and a little push, and then they're off to the races. And then what we do is we pay that back, and we keep going and paying that back to the people, and we help out the community one by one. And that's how we're going to change lives, man.
100%. I'm just figuring this out. I'm finally reaching a place where I'm able to give back, which that's, a God, that's only God,
Yeah, man.
and the people he's put in my life. So, that's why I align with you. I see what you're doing. Not if, when you become mayor, what are, one of your top.
So we're going to do this on a massive level, man. What
Okay.
we're talking about right now, my thing is PSL first.
Okay.
And what that means is really keeping everything in-house. And that means changing so many lives, whether, local businesses. They're the backbone of our community, right? You're a local business owner. I'm a local business owner. We need to be set up for success. There's things that our leaders currently could do, but don't utilize all the resources. I'm not about me. I'm about helping others, because then I know I get blessed by helping others. So what I want to do is every single month, we're going to have after hours, we're going to have meetings, whether it's at Mid-Florida Center, and we're going to bring out all local businesses. They're not going to have to pay for anything. We're going to help bring out, there's a lot of people that I have come to my office that are advocates for the community, veterans, homelessness, substance abuse, mental health awareness, all these big issues, traffic issues that we can bring and have booths set up for. And then the mayor's a 4-year term. We're going to grow that. We're going to have a meeting every single month wherever the community is going to allow us to do it for free. Whether it's a big spot, I was thinking was the Mid-Florida Center. And we're going to do that over time. So we're going to grow the community's network. Because a saying that I was taught when I was younger was, use your network to build your net worth. And that's always stuck with me. So when I was younger and I got into real estate I bought my first property in 08. And then I started flipping properties in 2012. And all my friends owned businesses, AC company, roofing company. One was a carpenter. I was in construction. I started working for Hanover Homes in St. Lucie West. I actually helped do a lot of the punch-out work in Tradition, the first phase. So that's pretty cool, man.
Very cool.
Yeah. I didn't know all the Chinese drywall was in there.
Right at that time, right.
But so I bought a house. I called my buddy, needed an AC, gave me a great deal, made a couple bucks, needed a roof, called my buddy. And then I sold my first property. I made like 60, 70 grand. And I'm like, man, this is what?
Wow, this is special, right?
How do we do this again?
Uh-huh.
So I called Chris Flaherty from Fidelity. I built a relationship with him in 2012 and did about maybe, I don't know, 10 to 14 solid flips, and was off to the races, man, and got real successful with real estate and business, and had a little lawnmower business, a pressure washing business, a window washing business, detailing business. I've done a lot throughout the years, but real estate is really the one thing that stuck with me. So
The core, my real estate is definitely my core. I've through my journey now do roofing. I have a couple roofs being built now, and I'm now able to, I've helped a couple homeowners in distress through my network connect with sellers with cash you can help, and then I'm helping them through the process of remodeling them and selling them.
Yep.
And, again, I feel like this person has told me 30 times how appreciative she is that I was able to connect her with this person to get, somebody passed away and probate, and sister was angry and they didn't know what to do. So being able to help these people through real estate in business, no matter what business you're in, roofing, real estate, pressure washing, you can either go and you can chase that dollar, or you can look to find and truly help somebody, and your blessings come from that.
Yep.
So I can totally identify with, real estate. And, I was in that same business with the Chinese drywall at that time. And it was a whole industry with short sales and coming in and having to tear all the drywall out. It was
and the plumbing.
And the plumbing. Well, then you had people who, were ending up in Rock Road who were tearing all the plumbing out. It was
Stealing copper.
Stealing copper, yeah. I mean, it was a time in the business. And, at that time, it's funny, thinking back on it, I always just looked to sell that deal and make that money. I didn't have the understanding of life, the
But we
humbleness.
grow, though. That's part of the growing process, right? Like we have a different perspective now. So when you're younger and you're going through those things, you look at things differently. But then as you get older, you're like, dang, I'm going to die one day. I better build this relationship with Jesus. Or, dang, I'm going through this. I need to, do this. So I think we all go through different motions, as we get older, man. It's part of growing, man.
Right,
Yeah.
different phases in your journey.
And I love to see the change, though, and then identify, like, 5 years ago, I was a lot different than I am now. And then we learn from all the processes, right? And that makes us better.
100%. You mentioned there's, 4-year terms, and I was thinking about this is I feel like, because I have nothing to do with politics. I don't really.
Me either.
I don't follow them as much, but that's what makes you a good person to get in. And I think that's why they have these 4-year terms, is people come in and they stay so long, and then they start getting jaded, and they get, that the main goal of why they came into it.
You say corruption. It's okay, or corrupt.
Okay, or corrupt. Again.
It's true, man.
I mean, you see it all the time.
Happens.
I mean, when I'm doing my cardio in the morning, I catch a little bit of Fox News, so I see a lot of it.
Yeah.
But
sad.
What do you think between after someone's been in office so long? Do you think there's a huge asset to a new person coming in?
Let me look at the camera and say this: just do the right thing, and you have nothing to worry about. If you do the right thing, you can sleep at night. You have nothing to worry about. Just do the right thing. And that goes for life in general. Just do the right thing.
I associate everything through my journey and through recovery, and why they say, stay in the meetings, get a sponsee, help them. If, like you talked about earlier, if you found a way and, to get out or help, spread it forward and pay it forward. And I think if, you need something to ground you, you get into that and you get a big ego, you start seeing money, or you have influence, and you start, and if you don't have something to ground you back to where you came from, your roots, who you truly are, what your purpose is, you're that's going to creep inside of you. The devil's coming.
We're not in this alone, right? We have to have a good team and a good structure of people that are around us. That's key to success. You can't do this alone. I couldn't do it alone. Like I said earlier, I called my friends to help me build this. They got paid for their services, and then, I made a profit on the business deal, the transaction. So I would go buy a piece of property for a good deal, agree to it, fix it up, and then I would make a profit on it. It's a business transaction. So anytime I had that, or anybody has that, just make sure you have a good, strong team of people around you that want to look out for the best interest of you.
Absolutely. I start with my number one team member is God. Then my
Absolutely.
wife and my
Jesus.
therapist, and it goes down. But
Thank you very much.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Find a power greater than yourself, and he'll do wonders for your life.
Yes.
I see so many people coming in from up north, tradition. You mentioned, you were in the first phase. Now it's in phase 365.
Yeah.
It's huge. Where does the mayor come in to this growth? Start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, being the face of the city is important to know who your residents are and the concerns. So, one thing I've always promoted running for mayor was giving out my phone number, saying, hey, call me. This is my personal cell phone number. What's the issue that I can help you or your family with? When we do win, Jordan, I want to meet every single resident. I wanted them to know we have an open door policy, and we will be completely revamping the Port St. Lucie website to make it more friendly for the community. You try to find the budget on there, you got to go to like page 45 and then go in, to a 456 pages. And it's a lot of round numbers, right? Mm-hmm. We need that to be very transparent, and we need to know what the numbers are. When taxpayers are spending their hard-earned dollars that they're working for, they need to know where their money's going. So we'll be giving the community options. Do you want more trash pickup? Do you want, body cameras for, the police officers? Where do you see fit? I'd love to get the community's input. Right now, we don't really have that. We go to these meetings, they're scheduled during the day. Why are we scheduling meetings during the day when the community can't make it? Why are they doing that? Mm-hmm. So I want to make it more of a friendly atmosphere for the people. And if there's any questions, complaints, concerns, I want to have the best staff, the most hardworking staff that's here for the community that can answer the questions. I do want to implement some AI into the city, like Jeff Bezos was talking about down in Miami, making the permit process so much easier. I'm into development, I'm into construction. So for me, it's definitely making it easier for the people and the business owners and for the residents who, want to see a faster result. We pay the highest taxes. How can we have Palm Beach taxes without Palm Beach living?
Right.
So
No, you're right. That was actually going to be my next question. I don't know where the mayor falls in line. I know it just continues to go up. But, that's one of our biggest issues in real estate, especially DTIs and people trying to get approved, and where these, I have a young couple in their early 20s, one's a teacher, and trying to find them a property where, with the taxes, even with homestead, and, it's extremely tough today.
Right.
So,
it's extremely tough.
Right. I don't. Does the mayor have any influence there? And because I know it's more statewide than countywide. How does that work?
Yeah. So I think I'm one vote.
Okay.
I'm one vote out of 5. So we have a city council. It's a local government, mm-hmm. and we have 4 other districts. Okay. So I think that being the face of the city and the other council members, we vote as a group, mm-hmm. but we're welcome, definitely, or I would be, to lowering taxes, or possibly even getting them taking off. The people decide to vote on it. I think Ron DeSantis put a bill in November that we can get rid of property taxes. So we'll see.
I was in a meeting with RPAC, and they brought that up about, there were so many questions if, they're going to do it for just like absentee owners, homestead.
Homestead, yeah.
Yeah. I think, seniors and homestead would be, great for the community. That's my personal opinion.
Seniors need help. There's a lot of them that are getting scammed. Mm-hmm. We have to do a better job with helping our senior citizens in nursing homes, get stopped from getting scammed. We have to raise awareness. We have to visit those nursing homes. We need to, get in contact with their peers or their loved ones and say, hey, do you need any extra assistance? Can we send somebody to you? We should have, somebody going around monthly, talking, visiting with these people to see what help do we need right now in our community. We have a homeless problem going on right now in Port St. Lucie that's not being addressed. How do we have 26 pet shelters, for dogs and cats, but we don't have not one homeless shelter here? What are we doing about substance abuse, helping people to stop going to jail? What are we doing about mental health awareness, crisis hotlines? What can we do better? We can always do better. So I don't want to hear everything's perfect from our leadership, because everything is not perfect. A lot of people are going through hard times. A lot of people are losing their homes. So what can we do to help these people? We have to have a good source of resources that they need available. So that's what I want to implement into the city of Port St. Lucie, is that availability, that positive mindset. Hey, we're going to get you help no matter what the problem is. We're here to help you. Stephen Giordano is here to help you. No matter what it is, we're going to prioritize from top to bottom and get you the resources that you need to be successful or to help you save your home. Or if you have a daughter or a son that's going through some type of crisis or suicide or mental health awareness. We don't want them to go to jail. We want them to be successful in the community. So let's get them jobs. Let's transform the homelessness right here in Port St. Lucie. Let's create jobs and bring them back into, we know a lot of people that have restaurants, we can get them jobs. Let's, have a shelter where these people can go take a shower, get a good night's rest. Let's get them rehabilitated back into society. Let's help out the community. That's what leaders are supposed to do. But let's not, push problems to the side and say, no, we don't have a homeless. Oh, yeah, we do. I've seen them out in the corners in St. Lucie West off of, I think, what was it, Bethany? Mm-hmm. I seen one sitting by the Dunkin' Donuts the other day. I seen another one sitting by US 1 in Crunch Fitness right out there holding a sign. I've seen another one on Port St. Lucie Boulevard in Floresta. Mm-hmm. They're around. So they need help. What are we doing to help them? You know what I mean? I'm not going to go sleep in $1 million home knowing I have residents outside that are hurting. We need to help our residents. We need to help the community. And we have so many resources here, and there's so many great people that genuinely want to help. Mm-hmm. So we need to utilize that. So I think redoing the website and making it more friendly and having phone numbers available and having resources available and showing people, hey, we're genuinely here to help to be a successful community, and keep the money in-house. We can keep it right here in Port St. Lucie. We don't need to go hire people in West Palm Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Everything we need is right here at home for the most part, So let's keep the money here, help local business owners.
That you feel that you have the ability to come in and help, correct?
Absolutely. Growing up here, knowing a lot of business owners, I think holds an advantage over somebody who's not from here or that is not here for the right reasons. So as, a local leader that's going to go into that role, being from the community, knowing concrete companies, knowing construction companies, having, engineers or surveyors readily available to figure out, hey, we need to widen these streets. We need to invest in our infrastructure. We'll go, miles. Let's slow down the growth and let's do smart growth. We can't tell a homeowner they can't build on their property, but we do have say so with commercial and, saying, hey, we got 8,000 homes that want to be built here. And we say, hey, hold on a second. We don't need 8,000 homes over here because this street's only a two-way street. So let's relook at this. The gas station that was on Port St. Lucie Boulevard and Bayshore.
Okay.
It's an empty field now. Mm-hmm. That was previously a gas station. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They just got approved for another gas station, so they tore it down. Mm-hmm. Pulled everything out of the ground, all environmental. Now we're going to put another gas station here. Why do we need another gas station right there on the corner of Bayshore and Port St. Lucie Boulevard? Right when you get off of the turnpike, you're going to see a gas station. Mm-hmm. Let's utilize the land, for the good of the community. Let's not just build just to build. Mm-hmm. There's literally a gas station a quarter mile to the right. And an eighth of a mile to the left. Mm-hmm. So, let's just be smart about how we're going to continue with growth here in Port St. Lucie,
Well, having a real estate background, I think you'll be able to have some.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I can't wait to, that's why you said you have a support team. I look forward to helping you. And
thank you, man.
And I'm now connected with iMind Therapy. They have one Martin County, St. Lucie, and Vero Beach. So, be able to bring them all together into it and grow. It's exciting. It's exciting talking with you to see where we're all going with this.
Yeah, man. It's awesome.
So through real estate, through living here, through having the support network, where is the next place that, the community can meet you? Where can they come and see you and where are you going to be?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Check out my social media. It's Stephen Giordano for Mayor at on Facebook. We have TikTok, Instagram. They can kind of see, about me and what I like to do and the stuff I post in the community. And then I have an office, which you've been to in St. Lucie West, at St. Lucie Trails Golf Club course. I'm, love to meet with every person. We have roughly 85,000 residents. Come hang out, talk, any questions, complaints, concerns, whatever I can do.
Well, I know you're at a lot of events. Is it any events in the pipeline coming up that you know about?
Absolutely. So we have some events coming up. I have to look on my calendar.
Okay.
My assistant has them.
She has them lined up for you?
She has them lined up for everything.
Okay.
But yes, I love meeting people, man. I'm very personable, down to earth, just here for the community. I just want to see the right thing done.
This was brought to my attention. I saw the sheriff out at a ball game, and they're always out. He was at my children go to St. Andrews, and they had a big gala, and he was there.
Yep.
But I never see, like the Port St. Lucie police officer, and they go, well, that's not an elected position. So, they're never out. As a mayor, as an elected position, once you become mayor, are you still going to be the same person? Are you still going to be out in the community? Or are you going to be behind, closed doors?
So shout out to Sheriff Del Toro.
Yeah, man, good dude.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Good dude. And, good Christian brother. He's doing a great job. And I think, that's part of being the face of the city and the community is, being out and about. I go to a lot of places that I'll say other people should be, and I don't see them there. To each their own, Jordan. I'm out there. I want to do what I got to do. I'm not focused on anybody else. But yes, definitely be more involved and more actively involved with more going on in the community here in Port St. Lucie. Yeah, it's never going to stop. It's only growing from here, man. Yeah.
So I know that's something that I want to try to align with you more and get out more and be part of the community. We have a really great community here in St. Lucie County, and it's constantly growing, and in Port St. Lucie. And I see, like the Met Stadium is coming around, but I noticed there was like some big soccer thing that, everyone was up in arms about. I don't know too much about it, but I know it, there was a lot of angry people about that. Can you get some insight?
Yeah, I mean, when you do a backdoor deal, 2 years behind the community's back, and you just say, hey, by the way, here's a soccer stadium, but you don't get to vote on it, that's not transparency. And that's what I think a lot of people were mad at, is nobody got to vote. Did you want a water park? Did you want a dirt bike park? Do you want a soccer stadium? Do you want a multi-use field? My personal opinion is it was a terrible business decision all around. Terrible location, terrible business deal where we can only use it 24 times a year. But springing a $27.5 million tax bill on the community over 20 years is totally unacceptable in my opinion. I would never do that to my community as your next mayor. And I will always ask the community, would you like this? Do you want this? For it just to be a soccer field and an $80 million project could have been so much more. I think it should have been a multi-use field. I think it should have been out by tradition. We could have utilized it a lot differently. So, they got to deal with that now. And do you want to vote in somebody who's going to do backdoor deals? I'm not going to support that. Would you support that?
No, I stay away from anything, any backdoor deals, anything. I'm on the, like you, transparent mindset. I've learned through my life. Any of those backdoor deals or anything you try to do just comes back to get you. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Total transparency moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so as tradition comes and all these, Riverland's growing and where's the next step for tradition and where does the mayor come for that? Because that's a huge, as far as in the real estate world, we talk about it in our meetings and what's growing and the sales and the resales. And, we have some people right now in Riverland and some of these other communities that bought in the height. And, now we're seeing some of this, they're trying to resell and they're a little below. So is, tradition growing? Is tradition, where's it? What's your thought?
Tradition has completely exploded, completely exploded. As you see over by the Heart, they got some good restaurants. The growth is it's just here, man. So many people are moving up here. It has slowed a little bit. We have seen a rise a little bit of people looking for jobs. I think we're at like 5.2% of unemployment here locally. So I think that, interest rates are still a little high. Kevin Warsh is the guy that's going to be taking Jerome Powell's seat in May. So that's going to be interesting to see the change and to see if the interest rates do drop. So I think we're going to see a turn. I think we're going to see a shift in the middle of the year to where we start to see a little bit of interest rates dropping and you're going to get some more home sales. That's my personal opinion. But back to tradition, man. It's just grown and they're building strip malls, shopping plazas, communities. It just doesn't stop. The growth's there. So
So as mayor, I mean, is that something you have to control, or I mean, how does?
Again, I'm one vote out of the 5.
Oh,
You know,
come
it has to
on,
go to
your
city council.
personality, you're out there.
Yeah, no, I'm very actively involved. I will continue to be, but I really want to give the power back to the people, and I want to hear what the people have to say. I want to hear the people's voices. I want them to call them to the city council meetings. I want them, you know, to come to the Mid Florida when we have all those meetings, and I want all the local businesses
Do you
to be
see
there.
a lot of tradition homeowners and people in tradition at these city council meetings?
Not really.
Right.
I think I see them, you know, at the ones that they want to come to. You know, what people are interested in, they're going to go to. If it affects them, if there's a hospital going behind their house, they're going to be there. So I think it really raises a concern as to why don't we just have a group of people here in our community that go to every day, you know, city council meetings. Again, they're doing them during working business hours, which people can't attend to. But when they get an important one, trust me, people will be there. I've seen it packed.
So if someone wants to support you, best way is you've got social medias. You've
Yeah,
got
my phone number's public record. It's on social media. It's on my Facebook page. Anybody can call me anytime. Then come to the office. Yeah, I'm here for them.
So, you know, we're going to go ahead and conclude this. You know, I really appreciate you coming out.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. brother.
RealtyTrader.com sponsorship. If you like this podcast, please please subscribe. You know, I'm trying to get my subscribers up. You know, we're all out here for the community. So, you know, we really appreciate it. You know, stay tuned.
Thank you, guys.